Hello again. I hope my microphone works. I may be a few years late with that video, but if you're new to the internet or fortunately avoided drama until now, then let me explain the antiship versus proship debate. A quick reminder, I currently use the name Eva or Ivan and I use any pronouns. Also, I dedicate that video to the day when I found my art on Pinterest, which isn't bad, especially that they added credits later. But even if they didn't, I'm just glad that people enjoy at least something of the stuff I made. I'm just thriving on the fact that more and more people see it. But the matter is, I got into the comments, and most of them were like, "Yeah, real." But one person went like, the creator is a proshipper. Mm, actually, and it sparked a big debate. I really enjoy internet drama and shitstorms. Also, it was like the funniest insult I could get, if you can even call it an insult. So, for the start, let's bring the basic terms. I'm sorry for using the script, but I have a bad memory. Anyway, let's bring the basic terms. The most mentioned terms and the basic stances at the war are antiship and proship. And no, you can't just be neutral. I used to say that I am neutral, but antis usually end their posts with proship slash neutrals don't interact. You're either against it or pro it. But pro what actually? The common misconception is that a proshipper is a person who likes to read and write dark taboo stuff, violence, death dove, etc. But actually, you can only consume content about rainbows and happy fluffy rabbits and still be a proshipper. The main point is that you're against censorship and you think that people should be able to create whatever they want. After all, fiction is a fiction. Writing about something doesn't mean that the creator supports it. Some people explain that freedom in creating is important because some people cope with their trauma through their creations, and which is also important, but it shouldn't be the only reason. You can write dark stuff without trauma. You don't need an excuse to cover controversial topics. And to get more specific, there's also comship and darkship. Honestly, it gets more complicated for me here as well because it's hard to find a clear source on this. The usual definition is that comship stands for complicated ship, and it refers, for example, to non-human, x-human character, cross ships, immortal, x-mortal, etc. Meanwhile, darkship refers to all the stuff illegal, bestiality, rape, incest. You get it. I can't, however, find the explanation, the answer to whether being comshipper slash darkshipper means you enjoy this content or just accept its existence. I still don't think it's important to get into such details since we have proship as umbrella term for being anti-harassment and freedom in fiction. How did it all started though? Well, in excellent article, Puritanism took over online fandom on Vox that I linked in the description. Before 2010, Tumblr was much more sex positive than it is now. In summary, the change was caused by massive migration from live journal, who were more interested in politics and social justice, and then implemented that worldview on Tumblr. Also, I don't say that social justice isn't important, but it went too much toward puritanism, that actual justice. Also, another big step to change of shipping culture was Fosta bill that in theory was going to protect children online, mm, but in practice led to whipping a lot of sex positive content created by educators, sex workers, and queer people. Also, this content wasn't at any point meant to be accessible for minors, so the new bill just made a big, unjustified cleanse for seemingly noble goal. Um, of course, it made the mood and culture of censorship even worse. And as a fun fact, probably the beginning of using the term proship was during a great argument in 2016 about the morality of shipping two characters from Voltron, an animated TV series. People who shipped Shiro and Kit were called pedophiles, despite the characters being 25 and 18 in the first season. I joined Tumblr around 2018, but to be honest, I don't remember much of the discourse happening. Maybe I was just ignoring it since I just started learning how the site works, and I came here just to read fanfiction. Though maybe I engage in it a bit, even if I didn't know the term pro shipper yet. But I remember once starting a big drama. Um, I was then mostly in slasher fandom, and I made a meme about how all the slasher did terrible things, but Freddy Krueger and his teams are insulted because he's a pedophile. Well, first of all, he isn't a pedophile in original series. He is only a child killer. Even the Wes Craven himself said that he gave up on any sexual angle. Freddy Krueger might be a pedophile only in the 2010 remake, but I don't consider it canon. Anyway, that's when the shit show started. There was a big drama in the comments. I didn't take the post down though, because I said what I said, and all the slashers are terrible people. And at the end of the day, fiction is fiction, and if I wanted to jump on Freddy's Krueger burn dick, it cared no one. It kinda also gets in the topic of the 18 plus content. All the blogs on Tabler have minors DNA in their bios, but I was a minor when I started writing smut, and I think so were many other creators, but it's a topic for different video. If you wanna hear more about uh, why I am being a pro shipper, I can translate the whole essay I wrote about purity culture for university and record it, or I can just post a link on to it if you don't understand my spoken English. But if you're not interested, I also don't feel a need to excuse myself, and we can just accept an explanation that, as someone wrote about pro shippers under their post, I am rotten and devoid of morals or something. And you can also read, I used to be an anti, but then I grow up. Zine. It's not mine, but I recommend it. You have a link to creators HEO below. Design itself was deleted due to site's new censorship policy, but perhaps you can ask author for it. Or you can ask me, it was for free and I have it downloaded. So, thank you for watching.